Welcome back to MLB Tonight. I'm Robert Flores, here alongside with former GM Dan O'Dowd and baseball researcher Sarah Langs. MLB Draft Combine is coming up. It's always an exciting time. Dan, what can we expect? What are you going to be looking for?
Well, Robert, for me, this is one of the most important events on the baseball calendar each and every year. If you look at it, all the clubs get a chance to answer the questions they have on the players, and then all the best players in the country get to showcase their skills in front of 30 clubs. So, I'm just really excited to see what's going to happen.
Sarah, it's a 4-day event. It's held at Chase Field in Phoenix. What advanced metrics can players and viewers expect to see?
I mean, there's so much data with this event. Part of why I love it so much, and I've been there every time this has been held. So glad we're back again. For pitchers, you've got pitch velocity, you've got spin rate, you've got extension. For hitters, we have your exit velocity, launching, and of course the distance on those home runs.
Well, congratulations and good luck to all the young athletes as they continue their journey to hopefully one day land in the big leagues.
Welcome to day one of the MLB Draft Combine from Chase Field in Arizona, the top high school in country to evaluate this year's draft class. It should be an impactful few days here in the desert. Alongside Sarah Langs, I'm Dan O'Dowd, and it's time for batting practice. So let's focus on what's happening down in the cage. Sarah, BP started now, and this is where the scouts really bear down. They're looking at presence in the box, they're looking at the balance and timing of the swing, they're looking at how clean a swing path is, they're looking how connected a player can be to a swing, and they're looking at the ability if they can hit the ball the entire field.
And there's so much data that comes along with BP. We've got exit velocity, which means we can look at how often the player's hitting the ball hard. In this day and age, hitting the ball hard has an actual definition. That's 95 plus miles an hour. And why do we care about that? Because in today's game, if you hit the ball hard, you're going to hit about 500 on those batting balls with a 1,000 slugging percentage. Another stat we'll look at is launch angle, and what we define as a sweet spot batting ball is 8 to 32 degrees of launch angle, basically a line drive. So I'll be looking at how often these players will be making that kind of contact as well.
You know, think about big league players like Alvarez, Judge, Ohtani, Trout. Their hard hit for that is crazy. Their launch angles are very, very, very consistent. And you add all the things that we're evaluating, and think about, Sarah, the pressure these young players are under right now is probably the most pressure-packed BP these players have ever taken in their careers. So we're now into outfield play. This is kind of one of my favorite parts of the combine. Scouts look at this from a variety of different perspectives. They're looking at breaks and angles to the ball, which is crucial for above-average defensive play. This part of the drill, we're looking at how quickly they get to the ball, how under control they are, and the strength of their throws and the accuracy of the throw. Deep down scouting perspective, they're really trying to see the spin on the ball, how clean it is, and so they can get that one-hop throw into third base and home plate.
No, I'm with you. I'm loving this. There's so many different ways to evaluate outfield defense in today's game. Of course, we can measure that arm strength. We can look at that accuracy of those throws, as you were saying, in the outfield to get to that ball. Everything else is moved, so we can really measure all different aspects of playing the outfield.
And when you look at some of these players, and then you think about the great right fielders, which is the arm strength position in our game, you think Acuna, you think about Tatis, you think about Kyle Tucker, Jason Hayward for a long period of time. And Sarah, pay particular attention now how they're making the outfielders move to the ball. They're trying to really see body movement and body awareness and how under control they are athletically when they go to execute this particular skill.
Well, as you said, right field is indeed the premier arm strength position in today's game, and I've gotten a number of you on that. In 2023, right fielders had an average max effort arm strength of 90.9 miles an hour. That means the top 10% of all right fielders throws average almost 91 miles an hour. That's really incredible to think about.
And if you think about it in a game, when you're trying to build a complete roster, part of it is your defensive acumen. So when you have corner outfielders in particular that can really shut down a running game, that means it changes the whole dynamic of positioning from a competitive standpoint. And so these little simple drills, scouts are now projecting how those players will affect their ability to put that kind of defensive team on the field at the major league level. This player's very raw, great physical tools. You can see that he has not played a ton of baseball. So this is kind of more of a deep projection kid. But the reality of it is the tool set's there. There's crude arm strength, there's athleticism, there's strength to the body. There's no reason in the world he shouldn't turn into an average defender. It's just going to take a lot of patience and a lot of work. Well, we're down to the pitches now, Sarah, and the variety thing. Scouts are looking for when they look at pitcher. They're looking at, how well their body works over the rubber. I talk about balance, rhythm, and timing within their delivery. They're certainly looking at arm strength. They're going to measure spin, horizontal movement. But you're really going to look at command. Where the catcher's set up, can you throw the ball to that spot, within the strike zone or outside the strike zone, and can you do that with multiple pitches?
As you said, there are a handful of things that will be measured here. First, velocity. You mentioned spin rate. Something else to take a look at is active spin. That's what percentage of that spin rate actually contributes to movement, as opposed to just spinning but not changing the way the ball is actually moving.
And so that's why deliveries are so important. Every one of those metrics, Sarah, is tied to your ability to duplicate your unique body type. And that's why you can get a lot out of these bullpen sessions by bearing down on a pitcher's delivery. projection. When you gamble on this type of young man, you're really just gambling on the arm strength and your ability from a development standpoint to teach him a functional delivery so he can pitch to his arm strength.
Only thing is guaranteed is I'm bound to get through it. Who we gon' run off with them? All them hundreds on the counter, cause that paper counterfeit. And I'm moving.
Man, what you talking about? I'm trying to get paid. You know, it's whatever. I'm down for whatever. If it's bread, I'm there. I'ma get mine.
Welcome to day 2 of the MLB Draft Combine at Chase Field in Arizona. I'm Ben Gelman, and today we'll get to see some of the brightest prospects out there go head-to-head and put their skills on display to boost their draft stock. We're just about ready to get started. Nobody on with one out. Here's the left fielder, Money. He looks confident as he steps into the batter's box. Seems like he's immune to all the pressure these young prospects must be feeling. Fastball for a strike. It's 0-1. And it's strike 2. One out and the base is empty. Swings and misses. Struck him out. So up next, White Lowry. 0-2, and the delivery. Fly ball left field. Dives and can't hang on. And that's a double. So 2 down. And now, Lance De La Rosa. In the air, along the left field line. And it falls. Around first and digging for second. Oh, throws it away. Here comes the 0-1. He swings and fouls one off. All tied up, top half of the fourth. Got it. 2 gone. Here's the third baseman, Troy Mendez. Fly ball out to left field. second. He's got another chance now. He's not just an asset in the field. He can make some noise at the plate, too. Swinging away strike one. Challenge fastball to start the eighth, and the batter clearly not ready for it. The pitcher shouldn't give him anything off speed in this spot. On the ground to the left. Into the outfield. Base hit. Runner on third. Run comes in from second. It's 3-2. First and second one away. And now the center fielder, Pedro Torres. 1-1. Here's the pitch. On the ground. 2. Off balance speed. There's one. Over to first. Safe. No outs. Runner in first. Money. Getting ready to hit. 1 for 3. And they say he went. 0-1.
Hey, nobody out. There we go.
This out to center. Racing over to make the catch. Runner at second. One away. Now it's the second baseman, Dwight Rowley. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Hard ground ball. Base hit. Coming around third. Fires to the plate. Safe. He scores, and it's over. One-run game. One down. Now at the dish, Ryan Wellington. Puts this one in the air down the line. Money. Stops that, heads back up. Runner tags second to third. Up to third safely with two gone. Money got himself some production with it. Just one hit in 5 at-bats. Always nice to see a player at this level coming to the plate with a plan and delivering strong results. It's day 3 of the MLB Draft Combine here in Arizona. Another chance for these young prospects to impress in the United States. makes the environment. I'm Ben Gelman, and we're just about set for today's games to begin. Welcome to those of you joining us now. Ben Gelman here, bringing you the action. Late stages of this one, nobody out in the ninth inning. Back here at Chase Field, and now the DH, Andres Alvarado. Took a little too long on the mound, and the umpire rules it's an automatic ball. He didn't start his windup before the pitch time expired, and it's an automatic ball. So frustrating for the pitcher. And a ground ball for Casillas. Now the throw first on the run, and they get the out. So digging in, Junior Richard. And a high fly out to center. And there are two down. So down to their final out of this one. Now at the plate, Michael Cutlet, 0 for 3. Fly out, ground out, and a strike. That one finds the zone, and that is strike one. When he enters the game, hitters know they'll have to deal with that excellent velocity. Even with it being more common for pitchers to throw hard nowadays, it's still very impressive. They're down to their final strike of the game. Money is just one strike away. Try to get him chasing on the changeup. I know it turned out to be a ball, but it very well could have been strike 3 to end the game. That would give you nightmares. Gets a piece, stays alive. Hoping to put the tying run on the board. Fights it off, we'll see another. All game rolling. day 4 of the MLB Draft Combine in the desert. I'm Ben Gelman. One final opportunity for promising prospects to showcase their skills as draft day approaches. Thomas, the next to hit. Line drive. Dives, takes off the glove, base hit, makes the turn, heads for second base. The throw in, safe at second. So up next, Money. Very balanced hitter here. Perfectly comfortable with shooting the ball the other way for a base knock, but also with the ability to put a few over the fence. That one is absolutely pummeled. That's down. One hops off the wall. One run comes in. Runner around third. Across is the runner from first. It's 4-2. Torres digs in now. Here comes the 2-2. Back in a miss, that's a strikeout. So they move out in front after a 4-run show. On to the second inning here at Chase Field. 4-2. Bases empty, one away. Here's the catcher, Lloyd Kingman. Bounces up to the left side, and it kicks off the base. Starts the afternoon off right with a double. First and second, two down. It must be so hard to concentrate on the game when you know this is your last chance to impress the scouts and decision-makers who control your baseball destiny. Line drive, base hit, headed for the plate. The run comes in for the second. It's 5-2. Hung up in a run down now. Tries to get it back, but he can't. The throw hangs him out to drive. The 2 away and runner first at the plate. Michael Thomas. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and this one towards left center field, and that'll fall for the base hit. Here's the throw. That puts runners at the corners with 2 away. Runners at first and second, and nobody out. That one's outside. 1-0. You know, here in Game 3, it's not just the body that can start to get tired. The mind can fatigue, too. You have to stay sharp and not lose focus on the mental part of the game. Chase is a high fastball there. I don't know how you catch up to that one. Sharp grounder, and it gets through for a base hit. Coming home. Fires it to the plate. It's on line, and the run scores. It's 7-5. Here's the center fielder, Pedro Torres. And he's got really good wheels. One of those skills you really can't teach. In the air, out towards right center. Miles going back on this one. Got it. Runner tags at second. In safely at third with one out. One out and runners on one. Now it's the second baseman, Greg. Man. Now this is lifted to center. Makes the grab on the run. Pretty nice defensive play on that pop-up. It can be really tricky to bring those in, particularly if the wind's blowing a little harder. So 2 on and 2 out. Now it's the shortstop, Pedro Ordonez. 1-2 now. Bounce to the left side. Fires it in. Out with one to spare, and that's the end. 2 left on. And we're in 5 innings. 7-5. Here's a speed threat, Justin Scott. Two now. Sharp grounder, that's through for a base knock. Around third. Runner from second crosses the plate, and it's a 7-6 game. To the top of the order we go. Up next, the switch-hitting baseman, Jose Cabrera. Fly ball left field. And that will fall. And here comes the runner. The throw won't get there in time. And a run scores. No outs. Runner at first. Michael Thomas now at the plate. Line, and that's a base hit. Lead runner hits second and heads for third. Here comes the throw. In there safely. With the tying run board at first. Strike one.
0-1.
Here we go. He swings and fouls one off. 0-2, Bucks and fires. Swings through it, and that's a K. One down. And now at the plate, Lloyd Kingman. And the 3-2 offer. In the air to left center. Money has a beat on. Runner tags at second. Throw into third. And he's out. Cut down. And that ends the inning. An exciting play. A great third for the double play. But oh my goodness, just no reason to try to move up the third right there. That is not great base run dead. Trying to close out his one-run lead. And they say he went.
0-1's the count.
Hey, Ninja, now your turn. Pops this one up. Parsons drifts towards it. Puts it away for the out. Money played brilliantly, even if the team took the loss. Drove in 5 runs in the game. Obviously, it was a big piece of their offensive effort. Great effort at the plate.
First pick of the 10th round, the Oakland Athletics select Money, a two-way player from the East region.
All right, so another player that we saw at the MLB Draft Combine, off the board in the middle rounds of this year's draft. What's the reaction here to this pick? Starting with you, Sarah.
Well, this player had a pretty good combine, but not the absolute best we've ever seen. I think there were some questions, but there's a lot of metrics that show there will be upside here, so I'm very excited to see how this player progresses through the minors.
Yeah, I agree with Sarah completely, Robert. There are some question marks, but I do see upside. What I also see is a really good floor for this individual player. And, you know, guys with good floors sometimes end up being some of the better players that come out of the draft.
Feel like I should have been drafted earlier. Dumb layup. Esteban Salazar.